Everybody to the Design Review Board for Wednesday, August the 6th, and we'll take attendance, and it looks like everybody's here. If you're here to make any public comment on any of the items that we're facing today, now's your chance to step up to the podium. Okay, no public comment. I'll close the public comment, and I'll look to approve the minutes from our July 16th, 2025 meeting.
Couple of corrections. This is for Corey or Tom. Usually we don't list people who are absent when there's a substitute. Also on pages 5, 6, and 7, apparently I came back to vote.
You did?
I did.
That's amazing.
From Harvard?
This says I voted, so I wasn't there, so if we could correct that,
Okay.
that'd be great.
So noted.
So I move that we approve the minutes as amended.
Support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All passes 3-0. Thank you, Michael. All right, item number 1, new item, signs. Number 1, 2405 South Telegraph Road, Golling, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge.
All right, our first request for the night is a new monument sign proposed for Golling Chrysler Jeep Dodge located off Telegraph Road. This is the parcel in question. You can see it sits adjacent to our industrial district and along our Telegraph Road commercial district. There's a lot of big box stores, a lot of signage along this corridor. It's fairly common. They're proposing it for, if you can see my mouse, this intersection right here. This is where it sits within our zoning map. You can see it's, like I mentioned, there's the industrial district to the northeast, and then these pinks and reds are commercial. The nearest residential zoning is quite a distance away across Telegraph Road. This shows you where on the site the applicant is proposing the monument sign. It is located 15 feet off of the property line, which can be seen here. So that'll be one variance that the applicant is required to secure because our ordinance requires a 25-foot setback for signage. They feel that at this location, sending it back further would be disruptive and less visible from the road. This is what the sign actually looks like. So you can see it just states what is being sold on the property, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. It's an aluminum cabinet, internally lit. The size is 7 feet and 11 inches by 5 feet. And so that also is a variance that the applicant will be required to secure. The ordinance caps sign area at 32 square feet per face. At 5 feet times 7 and 11 inches, it comes out to 39.7 square feet. So they'll need a variance for the size as well as the setback. And that's it for my presentation.
Okay, any questions or comments?
I do. Can we look at the Corey, that map again? Just where this is? Looks like it's.
Which
like,
map?
A couple of them. So the whole site map, it's across the street from the gas station, the Costco gas station.
It's going to be right here.
Yeah, it's at the entrance behind the gas station, right?
Behind.
Just behind the gas station. And there are another map showed other, like, are there other monument signs on the?
There are other wall signs on the property.
No other monument sign?
That I'm
Not
aware
on
of.
Telegraph?
They have one on Telegraph.
Oh, then one on Telegraph.
And then internally, I see another thing here about sign or inventory. These must be wall signs above the maintenance area and above the sales area.
Yeah, they received, I think, 4 variances for additional signage.
And at that time, I believe we looked at those as more directional, the service signs, those, we didn't necessarily consider those signage, they were more directional.
And so they obtained a variance for that reason, or no variance was required?
No variance was required, I don't believe, for the service and the other signage, because they were directional.
And for clarity, there was a monument sign at this location, they're replacing it.
Yeah.
So this is just a replacement of what was a monument sign at this location. It's in a slightly altered location, I think by a few feet, but at this corner, there was a monument sign.
Same size?
Pretty much, it was just a vertical, I'm sorry.
Want to
Just the
introduce
one that's-
yourself?
I'm sure, I'm Paul Dieters from Metro Signs and Lighting, 11444 Colts Avenue in Warren. So the sign that we're proposing is to replace one that's just been removed. And really what is, it's a little bit different configuration to meet what their current branding looks like. The other thing is they had some difficulty when we got a lot of snow and all the plows got gone, you couldn't read the bottom tenants. And so what they'd like to do is just reconfigure the sign to enable, we're gonna stay within the 5 feet, but it enables the bottom rows of copy to be up a little bit higher. It's easier to see. It's a little confusing going in there too, because of the Costco, there's an awful lot going on. And people don't know if you go by the dealership, how do you get in there without turning all the way around? Really what this sign is, it's basically a directional sign saying, here's how you get into the dealership if you haven't turned in at the main entrance, which it's tough when you're going 50 miles an hour. If you miss that thing, how to figure out how to get back into Gowling. So that's what they're looking to do.
And did they obtain a variance before? So do we still need to do a variance at ZBA this time?
Correct, because it's a new sign, so they would have to be required to go back to the
Oh, I
zoning
see.
board.
'Cause
a
it's
new
brand new sign.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
Correct.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Okay, then I make a motion that we accept the sign as presented.
Support?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Item number 2, 2285 Franklin Road, the Ace Pickleball.
All right, so our next sign is a wall sign proposed for the Ace Pickleball. You are familiar with this site. I believe it was the last DRB meeting. They applied for a monument sign at this location. They're now back for a corresponding wall sign. To give you an idea of, well, you're very familiar with the site. It sits within our industrial district, Research Park. The actual sign is going to be located here at the eastern end of
On the side of the building.
on the side of the building, set back quite a distance from Franklin Road, but visible from Hewlett Drive.
And Corey, we just approved a sign for them, right, a monument sign, right?
Correct. Yep. So the monument sign was approved last meeting.
Do you have another picture of that monument sign by chance, or no?
No, I actually
Okay.
removed them from this presentation.
Oh, you
Okay.
pulled up from the last PowerPoint, though.
There were some variances associated with that one too, right? It's going to ZBA?
Yep, and I'm about to get into the variances for this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
So again, this is where it's located at the east side of the building on the south side at this entrance. This is what the sign will look like. You can see that they are using the pickleball handle as the C and Ace. Just like with the monument sign, they're going to need a variance for the size of that symbol since our ordinance restricts symbols and illustrations on signage to no more than 5% of the total area. It appears to be a little less than 10%, although they have not given me the hard numbers yet, but they've informed me that based on their measurements, it comes out almost to 10%. So they will require a variance for that. And then for the area, the wall sign is capped at 32 square feet total, which is kind of strict for the district. They're requesting a 78.89 square foot sign. And so this is what it'll look like on the building. And then in addition to that, there will be some halo lighting offered, some LED halo lighting, which has been a discussion at this board level before in the past in regards to more obnoxious colors coming out of it. Because it is just a simple white halo, we felt that it was appropriate. And then in addition to that, they were proposing a significant amount of wall signage, but we worked with them, informed them that our ordinance does not permit that. So they're just proposing the name of the business and hours of operation on the front door, which is standard in the township. So that is it for my well, there's some site photos showing where it'll be located. And there you go.
And I will say that Corey worked with the applicant and tried to, the original application was much larger. So we took serious consideration in terms of the scale of the proposed location, the request for the larger sign, and we felt that it would be a good consideration for the DRB based on the location, just the size of where the sign would be. So it did come in much larger originally, and we were able to work with the applicant to get it down to a size that we felt was a little bit more amenable to the scale of the building.
Are they the only occupant in that entrance?
Correct.
Yes.
They're taking the whole building, right?
They're not taking the whole building, they're
taking-
taking the eastern end of the building, and that will be the main entrance, correct, into the
Okay, so, because
pickleball.
looks like there's decals or there's signage on the door right now, that's coming off.
That's if you look closely, it says Ace Pickleball. I think it's part of the rendering. It's this signage here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, the before, no, I'm looking at the before. Yeah, the before has HRC on it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I missed the discussion about the halo lighting. And can you tell me where the monument sign is?
Yeah. The monument sign is at this corner, so it's gonna be located here.
Yeah, we give them a variance on that.
They're gonna need variance, they need a few variances for that. One is the setback.
Mm-hmm.
They're required 25 feet. They have difficulty meeting that. It would put them actually in the parking lot
Mm-hmm.
because the property line is very far back here. The property line's here, 25 feet would put them into the parking lot, so that's one variance. The other was for the size,
And not the distance from the entrance because it's all one building?
because it's all one building, correct?
Okay.
And one parcel,
And do they need a variance for having two signs?
yes.
So so I assume these are going to be brought together
Correct.
at the ZBA? Okay.
And we do have to call it the ACE, the logo, because anytime we see a national branding, that's what we consider a logo. So that's why we're considering that as because that's a national, that's their recognizable logo decal of their business. So we do
The
consider
paddle,
that.
the paddle with the C?
Correct.
Or is it the whole ACE?
I would say it's the paddle with the C.
Just the paddle with the
Yeah,
C?
yeah.
Okay.
So the halo lighting thing came up at the last meeting when a request was made to do that backlit or halo lighting. What color was it?
Red.
Blue? Red?
This
Red.
is a light blue.
At a
sorry.
strip mall, you know, and ultimately the applicant withdrew the halo
Yeah, I
lighting.
saw that they withdrew it, yeah. Okay, so this would be white,
This will be white,
and it would only be when it's dark?
correct. But that might be a good condition that you might want to put on your approval.
When they're open. Because they have hours of operation, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, from 6 AM to 10 PM during the wintertime, they're going to be open a lot when it's dark,
Right.
right? So I get that, and I support that. And, you know, and there's no residential around here, so there's no real light pollution concerns. So I'm okay with this.
Yeah, the highlights on the screen, you can see the relationship to the adjacent residential. So if there's a consideration from the board to have it turned off after the hours of operation,
Yeah.
I think that would be reasonable.
Yeah.
Just so you don't, just to prevent any negative impact
Is
possibly.
there, I mean, I assume that's their backyards, that the houses are facing the other street. Is there vegetation or something?
There is a wall, actually.
A wall?
There's a brick wall.
How high is it?
I think about 6 feet.
It's about 6 feet. It was when we did the site
But is there
plan.
is there other higher?
I would recommend that the illumination is over at the time of the hours of operation.
Okay.
I think that's sticking to other examples that we have in the township. It's especially because at night, there's not a lot of traffic in that area at that time. So the idea that advertising has to occur in that area overnight, I don't find that to be a difficulty. So I would support having a limit to the lighting would be my suggestion.
Okay.
Like when they're open for operation.
So, I mean, a lot of signs, halo lighting is, again, something that's fairly new, but, I mean, signs have illumination. I mean,
Right.
a lot of ground signs have lights. And so I guess one could compare it to that. I'm kind of uncomfortable with the halo lighting idea, though, as I can see it just exploding. It's the newest, latest thing. Maybe it fits here for the reasons Michael's mentioned, you've mentioned. Beyond that, I'm going to have a real problem, I think, if we start to go to other areas that are more close to residential, more on main streets, as we, race to be more, attractive to the eye.
Do we have a representative here that could respond to that?
So the applicant had a medical event today. They could not attend.
Okay. I think that's a very important comment, and I think that if that's something that, another suggestion would be is that if that is a concern, and since the applicant is not here, that we have a conversation about the ability to maybe construct that sign without the halo lighting, or, again, whatever motions or conditions that the board wishes to place on the consideration, we could also handle it that way as well.
I mean, it doesn't seem obscene to me because the letters are black and then the light behind it, so that's kind of the aesthetic they're going for. So, I would agree with you, Martin, in other locations and certainly other colors I would be opposed to, but a white halo here in this location, I don't think that, versus making, if they were to change it and instead of it being black, making the letters white, it would be the same amount of light.
Yeah.
So, especially with that paddle, if that paddle was all lit up, right? I mean, it wouldn't look as good.
Yep, yep.
So is it-
I also get the idea that, given the size of the location, where the other sign is, the entrance is off the street, they kind of need some guidance to this door.
Yeah.
It might be overkill in my mind. I mean, they could request a second ground sign sort of outside that door versus something so large and lit. So, I mean, with the number, I don't know, it's just the number of variances seem a little much.
Well, that's
but-
for the ZBA to determine.
It is. So, you know,
All right, well,
well,
Mike, you have anything?
I'm kind of thinking it through, waiting to see what the motion is here, because
Okay.
I think they're really good arguments, and we're not setting a precedent here. And it is in a business district, so it won't be effective in anybody's
Right.
homes.
I
That's what I'm
think at
thinking.
this point, there's one more DRB before the next ZBA.
For this item, yeah, because they wouldn't be going till September, so absolutely.
Right, so because the applicant isn't here,
Sure.
we've got some concerns.
Sure.
If we tabled this until the next meeting,
Sure.
the applicant can attend, and that wouldn't disadvantage them in terms of being able to attend the September ZBA.
And I think we'll go out there too and get some photographs, maybe from just to get a scale of the view, just to ensure and make you feel maybe more confident
Right.
about what the
Well,
closest
we can talk
residential
about
is.
the halo lighting too.
Right, and I'd also like to know what the other lighting in the area is at night.
Sure, we can do that. I think that would be a good exercise that we certainly could be prepared to provide you for next meeting, that gives you a little bit more. And I do think it's important to have the applicant here, and then they can address the halo lighting.
Yeah. All right, so I move we table this till the next meeting.
yeah, good idea. I support that. Thanks.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass. Okay, 3-0 to table, we'll see you next time. B, site plans, 1250 Kensington Avenue, Sacred Heart. Corey?
All right, so our first site plan for the night, or day, is a new scoreboard proposed for Sacred Heart. It shows you where Sacred Heart sits. This is an aerial showing it's adjacent to residential. Specifically want to point out the residential to the south of the property, but there's also residential pretty much on all sides. This is where it sits within our zoning map. You can see it's R3 as far as the eye can see. This is their site plan. So they're proposing the new scoreboard to be located at the southeast corner of the field. It's going to be located here. It is, about 69 feet, I believe, off the property line from the nearest residence. They are also proposing a shed at this location, slightly closer. I believe it's closer to 40 feet off the property line. The sign that they're proposing, right here, here are the dimensions. So it's going to be 6 feet high, the sign, and 10 feet wide. However, what I have not received is elevation drawings showing the supports so that I can confirm that the sign will be no taller than 14 feet. Their narrative states that the sign will be no taller than 14 feet. But we generally require elevation drawings showing the supports and everything. And that's critical because our primary concern are the impacts that this will have on the neighbors to the south. And so we're concerned about the landscaping proposed around both the shed and the scoreboard. They're calling for arborvitae up to 12 to 14 feet along the scoreboard. So as long as we get verification that the scoreboard is no taller than 14 feet, we're all good. But I just need that clarity. And then in regards to the shed, I need some clarity on what the shed will actually look like. That is it for planning's comments.
And this is a sign they're just going to use during the day because they don't do any night sports, correct?
I believe so.
We have representatives
Well,
here.
but, I mean, in the fall, late fall, when the sun goes down at 5:30 or 5:45, there's going to be games that it's going to be dark.
They don't-
But I don't believe they have lights on, I know we have
They don't have any
a
lights?
page
No.
from Sacred Heart, they can answer questions, but my
Okay.
understanding, they don't have any lights on the field.
Oh.
So that helps
Okay.
out, actually control the lighting.
Okay.
And this
Yeah.
will only be used during games, right?
That's correct.
If you want to introduce yourself.
I'm
sorry.
J. Mike Courage, I'm the Director of Operations over at the Academy.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Do you want to expand a little bit about the height?
Our height is gonna be 14 feet. That was the max that we knew that we could achieve on the height. We don't have the pylons there, I suppose, so we would need to provide elevation, the total elevation drawings.
Elevations for the sign and the shed as well.
Yeah, we looked those up. The height of the shed is actually 7'6"
Okay.
at its peak. We can provide that drawing, and I know we actually are supposed to measure it, I believe, to the
To the peak.
midpoint of the peak or to the peak.
To the peak.
Is there something Paige can show on the overhead to show us an example of the shed? If you want to open up, thank you.
Okay. You can set it. Just switch it to screen on. Yeah. I can hold it if you want.
And that's the proposed color?
Sorry.
That's the proposed color?
Yes.
My recommendation would be a more neutral tone.
Can't really tell the color.
It looks like it's white.
It is a wood shed, so it could be easily painted.
Okay. So it's a wood shed, appears to be white, and because this is, as you're familiar with where the sports fields are located at Sacred Heart, and as Corey showed on the map earlier, they are within proximity to residential, so my recommendation or suggestion beyond the screening would also be a neutral, a color that blends in with the landscaping. That doesn't, maybe is not as stark as a white, would be my recommendation.
Okay.
A couple of quick questions. Is there a sign, similar type of sign for the tennis courts? And I see what looks like tennis courts back
No,
there.
we don't have a scoreboard for the tennis courts.
Okay. And there's a very nice memo that comes with this, thank you, about sound. Could you talk a little more about that, as far as, there's a buzzer, but it's similar to what you're using now?
Yeah, the sound, we don't anticipate any major changes between how we currently function versus how the scoreboard would make the buzz sound for the games.
With the audio capabilities, we would be able to do a national anthem before every game. But we don't really do any announcing, so it would really just be that first 5 minutes before a home game, where there would be the national anthem, and then we would just begin the game.
Yeah, and since it's not a lit field, this is all happening, obviously, during daylit hours.
Typically 4:30 and 5 o'clock games.
Mhm.
What about the music?
We currently play music,
Okay.
so that's not much of a change. We
Okay.
usually have a portable speaker we bring in and out.
Have these neighbors been noticed?
They will be for planning commission.
This has to go to planning commission?
This
Correct.
is a site plan, so it goes, yeah, you're not the final stop, you're recommending to planning commission. And they'll be
thank you.
noticed for that public hearing.
Oh, and then
But we
to-
certainly have had conversations with Sacred Heart, and maybe Jay Mike can refer to that.
Yeah, and we did go back to the neighbors, primarily the three that are adjacent to that particular field, and notified them, met with them, spoke with them. One of the neighbors is also our current head of school down further the line, so he's aware of that,
And probably supports it.
and he supports it.
So does this also go to the township board then? It's a-
Correct, yeah.
Is there a ZBA requirement here?
Well, because we've got accessory structures with a shed. All sheds would have to go to ZBA, so yeah.
But not
This
the
is-
scoreboard?
The scoreboard would also be considered an accessory structure. So I apologize, both of them, yes, correct.
So
But
this
no
is,
setbacks, no variances, these are permission request only,
got
I
it.
because
do
they
wanna-
don't exceed 14 feet in height, and they're located in the rear yard.
I do want to note that the plans have been routed per how we do for all site plans, so we do have comments back from other departments. And I just want to note that there is one comment from the engineering division stating that there is a 8-inch township sanitary sewer just south of the proposed project area and a 40-foot wide corresponding easement. So they just are seeking clarity that the proposed accessory structures will be outside that easement, which they believe they will be, but we need that verified on the site plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a few items that we're still trying to gather before planning commission, so that would be a final elevation and color of the shed with a more neutral tone, the pylon and the structure of the overall scoreboard, as well as, I thought there was a third item.
Yeah, the easement.
In the easement, as requested by EESD. So I would say that those would be three conditions that you would want to maybe consider as part of your motion to ensure that we have all that information secured before the planning commission.
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we send this on to the planning commission, subject to following departmental recommendations or considerations, a neutral color for the shed, appropriate
Elevation.
screening, what?
Elevation.
Elevation on the scoreboard. Anything else? Okay, that's my
I don't
motion.
think so.
Support?
Because, I mean, I support it just generally, but I also want to thank Sacred Heart for, being such a great community member and presenting this thoughtfully and thoroughly, and, thanks for all that you do. I support the motion.
Great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, passes 3-0. Thank you. Good luck. Okay, item number 5, general business. Is there something we're missing here, Corey?
Yes, Forest Lake Country Club.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That's it. 1401 Club Drive, Forest Lake Country Club. Go ahead.
So our final site plan for the night is Forest Lake Country Club, and just like our last request, this means that you're acting as a recommendation body. It will go on to the Planning Commission and Township Board. The Forest Lake Country Club is proposing some renovations and upgrades to their communities, for their facility. I don't know why the site plans aren't loading very clearly. Essentially what they're doing is they're proposing an addition, a pergola addition off the rear of the property, as well as repairs and replacement of the retaining walls. They're gonna be upgrading the materials and the design. I don't know why it's not loading. And we have reviewed it, and we have comments back from different departments. And the only one I wanted to note was from the landscape reviewer, who noted that the caliper of the trees that are planted must be a minimum of 3 inches. I believe they're proposed to be 2.5 inches. And then EESD recommends approval of the renovations and notes that some items need to be included when they apply for their engineering permits. But otherwise, that is it for our presentation.
Yeah, they're just updating what they have and replace and repair.
Yeah, and I'll get you some photos.
Yeah.
Actually, very nice color rendering too.
And the applicant has a presentation of their own.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, it looks really nice,
Looks really nice.
especially the before and after.
Yeah, it's, wow. I was in the club the other day for an event, and the inside that they've done is beautiful. Very nice. It's great to see.
So it's really up to you. The applicant has a presentation, but they have expressed that it's up to you whether they should give it or not, depending on your feelings.
Well, it's
So,
practice
so
for you
what,
if
so
you want
the-
it.
we're just being asked to review the site plan as a whole.
The design of the site plan.
Design of the site plan, and then from here, it would go to planning commission.
ZBA,
So nice that is.
What variances, or what do they need?
accessory structure. So the retaining walls being over 4 feet, all retaining walls in the township over 4 feet, outside of 8 feet of the property line have to go to the ZBA for approval.
Okay, but do they need any other variances?
That's it.
The pergola part, is that?
The pergola is attached to the building, and since it's attached to the building and it's slatted, we accept that as a permitted, so that does not have to go to the zoning board. It's solely the replacement in the height of the retaining walls that require zoning board. And again, since they're basically replacing them in kind, I don't foresee any issues. And as we know, this is a necessity with that grade change, so I believe that their practical difficulty is clearly shown just based on their topography.
And the pergola is a new thing, right? I mean, the retaining walls are upgraded, but
Pergolas
they
will help,
exist.
though. You need shade.
Yeah. Will be additional outdoor service with regard to
Okay.
beer and wine, food? Or just the same? I mean,
Hi, how are you? I'm Jason Orchard, the president of Forest Lake Country Club.
Hi, Jason.
Also a resident in Bloomfield Township. Our services out here will be all the same. It's outdoor dining, drinks. There's no additional bars or kitchen areas at all. This is actually currently a dining area where the trees are coming down. They're tearing apart the walls. They're old trees, so we're replacing it with smaller trees and the shade structure.
Looks wonderful.
Thank you.
And they do have their landscape architect here as well, if anybody has any questions regarding the landscape plan, which is very robust.
Yeah.
As well as why there will be some trees that will be removed as part of this proposal due to their condition. So if that's any questions that you have specifically related to landscaping, I do know that they have their representative here as well.
Okay.
I apologize, I just remembered there is another variance that they will need. The ordinance restricts landscaping in front of retaining walls to evergreen material. They're proposing a variety of very attractive, aesthetically pleasing plant material, rose bushes, et cetera. So that would be a variance that they would have to secure from the ZBA to allow for the more aesthetically pleasing landscaping.
But since the retaining walls are basically internal
Correct.
to the site,
Right, backyard, side yard.
but like,
You can see them from the lake, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
if you're on the lake, if you're
Yeah.
Which might be considered the front yard, I guess. I don't have any other questions.
No, I think it's beautiful.
yeah.
Yep.
I think you better get your applications ready, because you're going to get some applications coming into your club. Get your reviews going. This is a great attraction.
That's what our plan is.
Yeah.
Have current conditions here.
Yeah. There you go, yeah. This is it.
Any,
No. Are you guys good on parking?
We could never have enough parking.
yeah, they got a lot of parking. That's great.
They got a lot of parking there?
Yeah, there's plenty of it out there, but when we have events and.
Right, we don't have issues on Club Drive.
No, it's a great spot.
What do you do about overflow parking? I mean, just,
I mean, typically we can handle parking for all events. We have a large tournament going on right now, and there's no impediment on the road. We have got valet up on Club Drive. We've got parking down below. When we have larger events, we move our staff parking more to the maintenance area of the property, so.
okay.
Yeah, I was at an event there many years ago where the cars, we had to park practically almost at Square Lake and walk all the way down Club Drive.
Really? Because it's so busy?
It was a huge event.
Really?
Imagine that was hard.
Okay, so since I'm making the motions today,
Yeah, you're doing good, Stan, of course.
I move that we forward this on to the planning commission with our compliments and subject to departmental recommendations and requirements.
Support?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes 3-0. Good luck. Yeah,
Thank you.
Good. Yep.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, bye-bye. General business, recent design review board approvals, anything we need to cover?
No.
All good? Okay. Our next meeting date will be Wednesday, August the 20th. We will see you then. Move for adjournment.
Move
All in
adjourned.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
And you know.